We got the crossover ep, out of pocket Muscle Flats. Welcome to the crew.
Oh yeah, you want to run it? Oh no, I feel bad for this guy.
Our literal podcast name is called
Yeah, and that's
Out of
caused
Pocket.
problems. If I could go back,
You Change It. You change
I'd
it.
have second thoughts about it. I want to be
Yeah,
able to sit in front of people that I'm really inspired by and have just dialogue with them. I see it as an opportunity to sit down with people that I otherwise wouldn't be able to and have like a genuine conversation and just have a good time and be able to put it out as content. I just enjoy creating.
Welcome, everyone watching, listening at home. We got the crossover ep, out of pocket Muscle Flats. Welcome to the crew. Thank you for joining us in the flats, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's
Good
just
to be here.
very cool experience.
Very cool. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a little while, so
Yeah.
it's definitely cool to get you guys in. The pod scene in Canberra is pretty small, so
Yeah,
it's
tight.
good to link up with you guys and make a little bit of an event out of it, and
For sure.
hopefully get a few people watching live.
Yeah, it's cool to see how you do it, man. Like, because we definitely had you in the pipeline to like get you on our pod.
Oh yeah.
And it definitely wasn't gonna be anything like this, but it was cool to have you sort of like be like, let's do it like this way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
No,
it's
it'll be
completely
really
different.
cool to mix the fan bases a little bit and have a bit of fun at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
And we are doing it live, so anyone
That scares
watching.
me, bro. That
Hi
scares
at
me.
home. Hi
'Cause
everyone.
one of the big things whenever we do a pod is like we always preface to the people like, don't worry, it's not live. Like,
Yeah,
you can fuck
we
up.
can
and
cut.
We can cut it. And bro, when I get home, like when I start editing, I'm just cutting so much shit. I'm like, why did I say that?
I'm
Like,
going to be driving home and I'm going to be...
why did I say that? So when it was live, I'm being very careful. Like,
yeah.
Bit extra.
Nah, it's a bit tricky, but don't worry, we'll be.
Makes it more fun.
Yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully we can get some people in the comments. So give us your questions. We're going to be talking about a few different topics. So if you want to hear us mention something or talk about something, just let us know.
Sure.
And we'll go from there. But how's it all going over at Out of Pocket? You had an episode coming out yesterday.
Yeah, so we've actually been like very consistent, I'd say, for the last like couple months, you know, given how I'll let Rich and Abby talk on it as well, because they both come on board at different times. But just the week to week, not struggle, but like process to get out an episode.
You realise it's a never-ending sort of
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
You've got to
that's
keep
right.
at it for
Can't
sure.
sort of just go, done.
Yeah,
It's a grind, yeah.
definitely.
But I'd say, yeah, we're doing quite well, given. you
I
know,
think, to be fair, I think each episode we learn something new.
Oh,
and like,
definitely.
I think we're all just in it to sort of learn and have fun with it. So
Yeah, that's right.
I
It's
think-
just a bit of fun. Yeah, that's right. And that's
Yeah.
what you always remind us. It's like have some fun. And I
yeah,
know
like
Rich is
remember why you guys are doing this.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
is, you
yeah.
know, a fun project. So
Rich jumped on board after his ep. He was like, I just like to chat some shit, jump
Yeah.
behind the camera.
Yeah, I kind of like the behind the scenes.
yeah, it's
help
a
the
good
boys
place
out.
to be.
Yeah, it's a
for
good time.
sure.
You know, I rock up in my sliding shorts, looking real crusty. You know, I'm
Say
like,
some
hey,
shit when we want to.
ain't my problem, man.
Yeah, Rich is living actually.
It's
Yeah,
great.
he can do what the fuck he wants. But yeah, so can I ask you, Nick?
Yeah.
Because we're like really like we got to get an ep out every week, and we kind of put that pressure on ourselves, and it's satisfying. But you don't do that to yourself.
No.
What you're going for the quality over quantity.
No, not necessarily, but it's definitely a bit like you guys got a good team around you, and so that's a bit easier. But it's all just pretty much just me doing the pods,
Yeah.
and it's just a time thing. Like if I have time and if I wanna talk to someone, I can make it happen. But yeah, I try not to let it take over. That it's like a weekly post
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
Because I'll just get burnt out.
Exactly.
And it's
which I think
hard.
you have figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why but you're putting in break weeks now.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I kind of just do that to myself. Like, but yeah, I like the way you do it. It's cool. But there's value to both.
Oh,
Yeah.
the way you're doing it is 100% the way to go if you can manage it.
yeah.
Because people need. That's how you grow.
I
is
agree.
by keeping that schedule. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this style. But
Look, I honestly reckon there's value to either. Like, I like that consistency. If I was listening to a podcast, I like knowing exactly when it's coming out or whatever. But I also listen to a few podcasts where I just have no idea when it's coming out. And it kind of just, like, leaves me, like, when I finish one, it makes me really want to finish the whole thing. And I've also listened to podcasts that kind of oversaturate it, and they'll, like, release 2 episodes.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to fit in listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
And I like having those people that you really enjoy and can feel entertained by the whole time. And then every now and then I'll go back and see if they've got a new episode
exactly.
rather than sort of, if it's always like in my face, and sometimes I'm kind of like, I just don't have
There's
even
no demand for
time
that, yeah.
to.
What's that pod you listen to, that tech one?
When show.
They have so much content.
Yeah, the thing is because they have a whole team of writers that come up with topics,
Yeah.
right?
Insane.
And not only do they have the topics to talk about, they also have their own business, their own fan base, and like they do it live as well. So instead of
You were showing me the numbers on it.
yeah,
So
it's kind of nuts. But instead of just sending in comments, they do merge messages. So instead of like sending in tips on YouTube or Twitch,
yeah.
you actually go buy a merge from their website and then can put in a custom
I
message
see.
and it pops
Wow.
up during the pod.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it's a good time. Like the thing is that like the WAN show goes for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long pod.
It's a long pod. So for me, that pod is kind of like it just play in the background. I'm kind of hanging
Yeah.
out. I'm
Zoning
like
in
picking
and out.
up topics I want to listen to,
Yeah.
and I want it's I don't know.
I like
it's
that.
pretty good.
That's like Rogan to me.
Mm.
I'll kind of zone back
It's
in. I'm
cool
like,
how-
what has he been talking about?
It's cool how every podcast is
Yeah.
just that little bit different.
I think an hour is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Just going to say. Don't know.
yeah, I
Obviously,
agree.
obviously it depends what you're talking about. Definitely. All right. You can't rush anything. But I've found our pods unintentionally have always just fallen
I was just about to say, I feel like every time it hits an hour for us,
We're
there's
done.
there's just a feeling. There's just like,
kinda over.
okay, like, well then,
Yeah. Except for a few people. Ike, if you're listening, Ike walked in. He's like, this is going to be the longest pod you ever do. I was like, bro, we're only
we
going to
got some
batch
shit to
yeah,
talk.
yeah. No, but some people, like, that have a lot to say, you're definitely going to accommodate for.
Yeah. I felt when I was on the podcast last, it felt like we were talking for 2.5 hours.
What did we do? A pretty long app for you. wasn't
Yeah,
no,
because,
it ended up being an hour. I guess we did have our little hiccups.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Skip through a bit,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, I've listened to a few pods and they just, like, say they're 2 hours. I'm like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But by the time I get through that, it might take me a few days. There's another ep out and I'm just like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I
It
feel
just-
burnt
it's-
out.
Yeah, it's
I'm,
never
like, I'm
ending.
just listening. Like, so yeah. Nah, an hour's the sweet spot in my opinion.
How about you guys with your pod's a bit free flowing where you often don't have a guest and it's just you speaking your mind and talking about topics.
Yeah.
How's that been? Because that's something that I can't sort of relate to where the pressure is a bit more on you guys to come up with the things to say rather than an interview sort of style.
Look, I'll speak on that first because I know Rich will have a bit to say on this because we've only just recently, like there were a few eps ago and we got home and Rich was like, you guys are making a fucking Google Doc right now and you're going to like, you're talking about great shit. It's just so unstructured and you need to get your facts straight. So the last 2 to 3 eps have been a lot more structured. You might not notice it straight away, but it has been. But before that, we were like, we'd hit a really good lick and it'd be great for a bit and then we kind of just dry up. And there were a few times where we'd just be sitting there for like 3-4 minutes, just in silence, just trying to think of something. It's completely cut out, obviously. But yeah, I'll let Rich speak on it.
Yeah, because I'm watching it from behind the camera, so I see a lot more clear than them like in the moment. So a lot of times they'll say something that I know is not correct, or you can tell like if you were prepared for this topic, you can actually make this like so much better. Right, and then
Instead of getting flamed on our TikTok.
yeah,
Yeah, there has been a few times where we're so keen to talk about something and then it's kind of like, wait, we don't even know yet the whole story. Like,
And then it started, everyone starts
Which,
pointing fingers. Like,
to be fair, it's only because you guys are in like such flow state that like things are
Yes.
coming up naturally that you're not prepared.
But also
to.
we trust each other. Like there's been a few things Warren said and I'm just like, bro, like I'll just like trust him and then yeah, I think if anyone that does watch Out of Pocket, you're aware that the two hosts on it are myself and Warren. And I just need to say that Warif isn't going to be attending this ep, just because he won't be able to attend this one due to personal reasons. So just to preface before we go forward. But back on your question, Nick. Yeah. So there's just been a few times where we'll learn when it's too late. And that's just in our TikTok comments where we're just getting absolutely crucified.
To be fair, I kind of like it like that
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean,
like I
that's
love
part
flow
of
state,
it,
and then
yeah.
you find that like for example, I was listening back to my episode, and I was like, shit, I started like 5 different stories.
Yeah.
And like never ended up finishing what I wanted to say. But like personally for my ADHD brain, like I'm listening to podcasts that are just all over the place and I love it. And
Yeah.
it keeps me entertained.
Yeah.
So
Within reason.
within reason for sure. I think the fact checking that definitely
Fact
we
checking is
gotta-
big. But if someone goes on a tangent, like personally, if I'm listening to a podcast, you have that wherewithal to like know that they've just gone off on a tangent. And you need, especially if you're like me, I need it to come back to the point.
There was one episode, I'm not going to say what you were saying, but
Go
you
on.
were, no.
Where'd I go? What did I do?
But you were talking for a good 20 minutes and trying to like pull us all in to
Oh,
talk
really?
about what you were talking about.
I remember that. Was that? I'll say. Was it too curious?
Yeah.
I
you were
went on
going
this-
on for so long.
I cut it all out of the app, but it was
Yeah.
it was just a dead
Yeah, it
end.
didn't
Everyone was
make
like looking like, can we go? I was
And like
just
you had to get that off your chest. Like you were real talking.
it was just so not
and then-
worth it.
Yeah.
I got to
Leak
the
it,
end of it.
Leak it.
Oh no, I burned it.
It is pretty funny.
I just
to
went on this
listen to.
massive tangent about Nick Kyrgios that no one, even I, by the end of it, I was like, do I even care
What am
that
I
much?
even? Yeah. Like why? Am I-
Yeah, that was dead. I was so dead. But for the most part, it's a lot of luck. Like sometimes we just get lucky and like we're all kind of like bang on point. So it's a bit risky, but very different to your setup.
I feel like that's also definitely more the episodes where it's just you guys.
Oh,
like
yeah.
at least with a guest, you can focus it on them and
Yeah,
have proper questions.
I'd like to think so, and we know our shit.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
not fact.
Yeah, exactly. Because people are happy to let you know when you're wrong. I've
Yep.
found that out.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially on TikTok.
Or just me.
Or just Rich, but I'd rather Rich than TikTok. But
Yeah.
what I've found is, and this just speaks to TikTok for you, right? When I butcher a fact on TikTok, it always blows up.
Yeah, I was watching a TikToker the other day, and he, on purpose, said Melbourne wrong. He said Melbourne,
Yep.
and he was like, "Well, that's just what I have to do now because
It's sad.
the amount of people that corrected me, and he did it on purpose as well." So
I won't lie, it's crossed my mind. I was like, if I get on there and just say as much shit wrong as I can without giving it away, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the app built on misinformation, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's what it's
But
there for.
it just speaks to human nature. Like, it's so hard for most people to not correct someone when they know something's wrong, right? It just leaves you with this uncomfortable feeling. You're like, I just need
Yeah.
to do it.
I hadn't actually thought about that. That's a
I don't
good
know. I
idea.
just think if I, like, personally, you're more inclined to correct someone than agree with them.
Here's the thing though, like I'll watch YouTubes or like just on socials. If I see something I don't like or I think it's wrong, I just ignore it straight away because I don't want to give any
Them
interaction to it that will like cause it to progress on and spread even further.
Yeah.
Like if I see a video on YouTube I like hate, I just click out instantly. So their retention rate is garbage.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't dislike it because I'm like, dude, that's giving interaction to them.
Yeah. One of our TikToks that popped off recently was one where we didn't even butcher it. We just got this, we were talking about Burner Boy, about something to do with the shows, and we got a bunch of facts wrong. And it just blew up because people were just so keen to just flame us in it. I was like, you know what, it's like publicity. Like, and our followers were going up and up and up. And then long story short, we ended up deleting it, and it wasn't a unanimous decision. But I was just like, you know what? Let's just get on and talk some more shit about Burner Boy.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do a podcast, you're gonna be on TikTok, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna have people coming after you, and
But you
just
don't
have
want to lose
to.
your integrity.
Yeah.
Because that's what like Rich was kind of getting at. He's like, okay, yeah, great, it's good for engagement, whatever. But ultimately, you're going to be seen as that pod that's just super unreliable. You just don't want to. It's a very slippery slope.
I think it's a balance of like how much time and energy you want to sort of backtrack with what you've already kind of done.
Yeah. And I was talking to Chief Mays about it, actually. He hit me up because there were a few things I got wrong. And I was like, look, we're working on it. Like, and he just simply pointed out like the difference between fact and matter of opinion. So when it comes to an opinion, you have a lot more leeway in terms of like,
or even comedy. Like, is it funny? Like,
good point. Yeah.
Is it totally another category too?
And then there's a time where you just need to get your facts straight. which we're learning.
Yeah.
You just reminded me on YouTube about that. Remember that old video that went viral back when YouTube was like new, and it was like, "Do dogs have brains?" Remember that chick?
No.
You know the H3 podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's the girl's name on it?
Healer.
Yeah. And she was like, "Do dogs have brains?" And looking back on it,
I remember
looking
that.
back on it, there's no way she was serious. I reckon she just knew something we
It
didn't.
was H3.
Yeah.
And I reckon that was like one of the earlier days.
And here
of
we
just-
are all freaking out about
Exactly.
it.
And I was
We're
like, look at this. Just engaging, like through the roof.
Yeah.
And I think she just knew before everyone.
yeah.
If I just say some dumb shit, she's probably just ahead of the curve. So it's a bit like that, but now it's just like, you got to be a bit more subtle about it. Like, I think if I went online and said, "Do dogs have brains?" now, I wouldn't get any plays. You just got to be like stupid in a smart way now.
Yeah.
A bit more of a sneaky way. But yes.
And I guess, it depends on how far you want to take it to. Like, do you want to blow up your pod? And is that what you guys see yourselves as? Is like commentary on Canberra or on the scene in Australia as a whole?
Look, that's tricky. We haven't really talked about it. I think it means something. It's different for all of us. And I think every episode comes with a different angle to it. And if we're like, it'd be great to get a big audience, right? But if it's at the detriment of people's trust, and like,
Yeah.
if I'm just talking
We won't do it the right
bullshit,
way.
Your mental health and stuff, if you're getting
yeah,
Yeah.
copping a lot of this sort of shit
Yeah.
on the reg, I could imagine it gets pretty tricky.
yeah,
Yeah, I was saying the other day that like we were talking about how to get more engagement, and I was again like just have fun with it. Like
Yeah.
you never know when one day it's just gonna pop off, and that's you have an option to have that as a career or
yeah.
take it heaps further.
Yeah.
And I also I think we've naturally figured out that we do get quite a bit of engagement with the Canberra scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed buzzwords if I mention a suburb, especially a bigger
Yeah,
suburb.
exactly.
I don't know how TikTok works exactly, but everyone in the comments is from Canberra.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was literally just this road. You're going off like
There was a crash.
no, it wasn't a crash. It was like a car
it was
that
a
drove by.
caravan thing on the back.
Yeah,
I
that
saw
one.
that too. What
He
is up
got
with-
like 100K. Like
It was Rich isn't on TikTok. He's on Reel. He's on Insta. It was like near.
I'll
So
get
he,
it later.
he gets it like a week
yeah,
later.
I was gonna
Sent
say
by pigeon.
you're living in 2020.
Yeah, it was just some random road like going towards
But
Tuggeranong.
all the comments
All
were like,
Canberra.
"Yeah, I know that road.
Fucking
Like, yeah,
Canberra,
go
yeah,
Canberra.
yeah.
Like,
I
we're
was
up in
like,
Canberra.
yeah.
Like, Canberra definitely is big enough to sort of go viral and
It is.
have a lot of content.
And people appreciate it.
Yeah,
And people
exactly.
engage,
Well,
you
I
know.
think that's and like even when I went overseas and I was talking about the podcast, I'd be like, I'd say we're trying to put Canberra on the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I think that's fair because it's like often there's things I want to talk about, but I got to be careful not to go too into it because it's just so widely covered.
yeah,
And like it doesn't set us apart in any way. So, and there's already so much commentary about it. So say like Post Malone falls at a show.
yeah,
What are we going up against?
yeah. That's
TMZ?
exactly.
We have not got any new angle on this, right? It's cool to talk about because we're interested in it.
Yeah,
But I think that the Canberra niche is
The
definitely
Canberra
I
perspective.
think we're definitely in a good spot of we're not overshadowed by heaps of podcasts, but we can definitely find our own space. within
Yeah.
it.
In terms of Canberra pods, I want to ask you, Nick. Like,
Yeah.
I know Mustard Flats.
Yeah.
I know, like, when it comes to, I guess, things about Canberra, like, there's a few podcasts that operate within the ACT that are more aimed towards maybe, like, broader things. And you wouldn't even
Outside
know,
looking, yeah.
wouldn't know where they were located. But
Yeah.
in terms of ones that sort of fit that Canberra niche, like, educate me. Where are they?
There's not much, eh?
There's one called, I want to shout out Turning Tables.
Turning Tables,
Yeah.
I know Turning Tables.
Ran into the kid that runs that,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like Slocs.
And they put on events too and stuff.
Do they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he hit me up actually, big up, because like, he was just like, because he was putting them on SoundCloud,
Mm.
and he was like, oh, I need to get on Spotify and like this and that stuff, and I was just like, and he was asking me about equipment to like start filming and all that,
Yeah.
and then he got it on Spotify, which is just the more platforms the better, obviously. So yeah, shout out Turning Tables.
Yeah. I've listened to a few of theirs. They're great DJs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean they're definitely out there, and I, in a way, wanted to build this to platform those people
Yep.
because people don't know about it. You know, people, the Riot Act and her Canberra and stuff, they're not talking about the stuff
Yeah.
that we're
Interesting,
talking
yeah.
about. Like, and there are people doing it well. BMA talk about the local music scene well. They're not doing podcasts yet, but it is covered. But there isn't much discussion and content around what's happening in Canberra.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's what I wanted to do, and definitely focus purely on Canberra. Like, I don't even care if anyone. I'm not looking to find listeners from outside of Canberra.
Yeah.
I want to build a audience that's all Canberran or interested in visiting Canberra or something. They want to find out what's going on.
Definitely.
I want to shout out another one that hasn't started yet, but and I won't say too much on it, but Zach Young, I know he's going to start a podcast, and he's going to aim it directly at hospo in Canberra. And I was like, that's such a cool niche. I like that. It's not even a niche; it's huge, to be honest.
I think Jamie mentioned something to me about that. Is he doing it out there?
I don't know how it's going to work. I won't say too much, but that's going to be a cool one too. So just covering all bases kind of thing.
We should also say we do have a guest in the waiting, but we'll get to Jamie soon. But yeah, I'm enjoying this chat about podcasts because we don't often get to talk about pods, and probably no one at home cares, but who gives a shit?
Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah.
Because I want to know, because we haven't talked to a fellow podcaster.
Yeah.
So you've already talked about your goal for Mustard Flats, so you just kind of mentioned that there. What are some misconceptions about podcasts that you think people generally have?
Probably how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people, everyone thinks, I can do a podcast.
Go on
that's
and
easy.
just chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not even the actual what happens in the podcast, but actually preparing it and getting it off the ground is the hardest thing. And I didn't expect to jump in and have to have hundreds of listeners every week, but it's definitely a slow growth sort of thing. Like, you can't just expect to start talking and everyone flocks to you.
Yeah,
so that was the hardest thing, and also that you've got to do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the story. Like, it's fun to sit around with people and talk to them for an hour, so I'm happy to keep doing it. And where it goes, that's unknown kind of thing, because it is a small niche topic that we're talking about. But yeah,
have you guys heard anything that you just like, that's not right? Well,
not really, but I was gonna say it is quite funny to see how many people on a night out are just like,
weird, hey,
let's start a podcast.
Oh,
like,
right, yeah. Have one deep and meaningful chat.
I had a girlfriend the other day, her boyfriend's thinking about starting one, and she was like, babe, like once a week, like you come over, like
that it's a spur of the moment thing. And you
because
just don't think
we go on tangent, like I'll go over and we'll be talking for hours. And just have the funniest chats. So, but she was like, look, we've got the equipment, let's just chuck it up.
I think that's rooted in truth, that one, because I feel like there would be so many podcasts that have been started on a drunk night out.
Yeah.
And then it just goes nowhere.
But I think that's the huge misconception of like, it's not just sitting in front of a microphone and a camera. It's a lot more back work.
No, but I wanted to start a podcast.
Yeah, you were talking about
But it was just like, I was being very realistic. I was like, commitments with my friends. You know, getting everyone's schedule together. Actually sitting down and everyone's prepared on the day.
Oh, yeah, you were talking
every
about
time.
Richard and all that.
Yeah. You know, like Richard Warren and Moses.
I think in hindsight, you're like,
because I was like, bruv. Getting like
just so many people.
So many people. It's just hard to kind of, you know, get all sorted. And then equipment. You didn't need to spend like, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment to start off, but you still, like, let's say for 5 people, you know, you get the mics, get the cameras set up, you know, getting a set. You know, just it's a lot of effort. You know, and we can like, you know, yarn for hours and hours, and you know, we can cut it into like a cool app. But at the end of the day, it's like so much effort.
I think it's also important to remember, like, are you just wanting to start a pod because you're having good chats within your friendships? But it's like, is that going to be something other people want to listen to, or you just enjoying it because you're with your friend and you're
Can I say one that I've noticed? There is a misconception that if you are on a podcast, you are in some way toxic as fuck. It is. It's real, and I'll back it up. I used to have the pod in my bio.
Mm-hmm.
Took it out ages ago because, and I've talked to girls online, and they'll be like, "Oh, you have a podcast or something like that," and I'm immediately like, "Oh shit!" Like they found the pod somehow, right? And this is the reason why. This one girl was just like, she didn't even watch any of it, which is fine. She was just like, "I hope you're not talking about women's issues on there." Like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm talking about stuff that I feel like comfortable talking about. I'm not talking about anything that's just like super divisive.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a huge misconception.
And I get it. You know, especially with TikTok, you're being crammed. You know, there's shit being pushed in front of your face of just dudes mainly that don't know what they're talking about. What's that?
But
Fresh and Fit?
but see, this is where like, sure, you're putting yourself out there to get cancelled, kind of thing, but. I don't know. You got to take what everyone's saying on board. Like, everyone has to put themselves out there a little bit.
Yeah. I think I worded it wrong. I think people see it as, and more commonly than not, you probably see a lot of people start podcasts for like self-therapy. Right?
Yeah.
And they're just talking and everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I think there is definitely that.
Oh,
like,
there'd be heaps of
especially as males, you see the don't give every man a microphone.
And I'm not saying, oh, poor old me, I'm a guy. But you'll see, I would say there's a high quantity of male-run podcasts that are kind of just like literally just self-therapy, maybe.
Like, I think go for it because then you can learn from it. Like, I think we should be talking about women's issues from men as well. Like,
I think she meant like she just saw me and like Warif on the cover. And she was just like, these two are definitely talking about shit they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
and you know we're careful, right? We're careful. So I think that's a misconception that people might see and they go, okay.
But I think especially you, like, I think you like talking about things so that you can wrap your head around them and like learn from other people how it, you know, really is. So
and once again, that's why we need a Google Doc.
Yeah.
So you're prepared.
Yeah.
It's good to talk about.
Yeah. I don't want to get on a pod and just be a know-it-all and talk about shit. I do like learning on the pod, but within reason. I'm not.
Yeah, that's why you need to have the facts. But you don't need to know it all.
That's true.
But at the same time, you know, with the facts, you can build a conversation around it, and you to be able to have your own opinion.
Yeah.
Put into it and not get flamed.
Yeah.
Because it's backed up by facts.
True. You have to have a base level understanding.
To be fair, if you were talking about women issues without a woman there.
No, we haven't done that yet.
I would feel.
We wouldn't, no. And whenever we always say we need to get a woman on here.
Yeah.
So that's why we went ham sandwich when you were on.
Yeah.
We're like, tell us.
We do have a few comments coming in. And
hello, everyone.
And Pluto.
Hey, Pluto.
He wants me to tell you are toxic.
Typical.
I'm trying to teach him, man. I'm trying to teach him.
This guy, man. I love this man.
Yeah, there are a few people in the chat watching live, so if you do have any questions, let us know.
Shoot them.
We might rattle off. Do you want to rattle off a few topics and that we might discuss and get the chat to decide which one they want?
All right. So I was going to ask you, Nick, if there's anyone in Canberra that because Canberra is a very unique city or town. I was wondering if you've rubbed anyone the wrong way, you know, by accident with your podcast. That's one way we could go.
Yeah.
I think we talking about topics for the people to ask questions about.
Yeah. Well, they might pick. And then, did you put this in? I was like, your favorite or least favorite?
No, I didn't say that.
I don't know who put that in. What else have we got?
Just alienate half our guests in one swoop.
Yeah, I like the Have you rubbed anyone the wrong way accidentally?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Look, the one good thing about, I don't know if it's by accident or just the way Canberra creative people are, is that everyone's quite positive about our city.
Yep.
And there isn't really that much toxic stuff.
I think we're so much better than
at all,
a lot
but
of, a lot of
in terms of the people doing stuff, everyone's been so lovely that's coming here. So it's been really cool and has lots of like shouting out people. I'm learning about other, people doing other things.
I think if it was
all very positive.
I think it would be more indirect. So I'll
One thing that I do get, which I do feel bad about, is people asking to come on.
Oh, yeah.
and then not being able to fit them in.
Yeah.
And so that does get. So I probably do rub people wrong way, but just know it's
That's
purely
pretty
just
light.
because
'Cause
we're
you
busy.
You
Yeah.
want to do someone a service. There's a pressure when you want to come on, right? So sometimes, like, if an artist comes on ours or whatever, and something huge has happened in the news, I'm like, I don't want to just get them on while they're sitting there and I'm talking about this thing. So you have to do them a service to tell their story properly, right?
Yeah.
You don't want them just being like, hey, I do this, but let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Yeah, well, you kind of have two different styles of ep. It's the
Yeah.
guest ep and then the
try
group. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll reference one time without going into too much detail. We learnt this the hard way, and it was a lesson we needed to learn. I think you know this, Rich. So we accidentally rubbed a local the wrong way, and it was indirect. So we had someone on the podcast who will remain nameless, and no one will be able to find out who it was, right? Because we took it out of the thing. Anyway, and they just said something, their opinion, and this is where it comes to fact and opinion. And it's their opinion. They weren't necessarily wrong, but if you look at it as a matter of fact, they were. And it was sort of indirectly harmful to someone's business. Anyway, and they were really gracious, and they reached out to us and they said, hey, this is incorrect, like factually. And you guys have a responsibility, being the mediators of this conversation, to actually vet your information. And I was like, because I was looking at through the scope of opinion. I was like, when someone comes on our podcast, they can say what they want, right?
Yeah.
But we have a duty of care to make sure that's not causing harm to someone's business.
We've got a
as well.
platform, and
Exactly.
we've got
And I think I found out the hard way. And we did all, we made good of that situation, and we took it out of the
I
video.
do think we'll probably have to deal with it again.
Probably.
I mean, our literal podcast name is called
Yeah, and that's
Out of
caused
Pocket.
problems. Yeah.
So there are going to be some opinions and things that we talk about.
I think
that
if I could go back,
you change it. You change
I'd
it.
have second thoughts about it, because it puts this
About
pressure.
the name.
Yeah,
Really?
it puts I don't know. Rich just mentioned it a few times. He's like,
You're not out of pocket.
yeah. He just goes, you call it out of pocket. You got to be out of pocket.
Because at the same time, we're not doing reviews on the business.
Yeah.
Right? It's just literally one person's opinion, said on our podcast about this business. If this business is unhappy about it, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
To kind of.
But if I
fix
know
or
it's
rectify.
factually wrong, it's a balancing act, right?
Then at the same time, then you need to call it out on the pod.
Yeah, on the pod. So it's
Exactly.
more of it's a tricky one, because it's so tough, because you don't want to censor your own guests. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you're being a bit too hard on yourself with it. Like, I don't think you have that responsibility as much as if something does happen afterwards, mention it in the next ep or whatever.
True.
People need to understand that, this is an opinion. This is a podcast where you talk for an hour
Yeah.
every week. And yes, you are open to defamation and all those sort of things that journalists are involved that have repercussions with. But I don't think it's up to you to, in the moment, to be correcting that stuff.
Okay.
As much as you can, obviously do it, but I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
I think that's what comes with. That's a misconception about a podcast, is that you don't realize how much sort of backlash you can get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think a lot of people can see that, like, we're so, me talking like as if I'm on every episode, but so honest that we are literally learning as we go. Like, we are, we're just figuring out about the name.
We had a chat. I had a chat with Wareth about it, right? And we were like, all right, we need to have a standard going forward, right? Because I'm not going to if I really feel some type of way about someone, I'm not just going to, pretend I don't, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like I'm creating a double standard here, but I'm not, I swear. We were like, all right, let's make an agreement within the ACT. We're not going to purposely, if we know something is factually untrue, we need to be very careful, because it affects people's businesses, because Canberra is such a, a particular, everyone knows
Everyone
each other,
knows
right?
everything, yeah.
So we need to be very careful, and we need to recognize that. We're not in a big city where it's just in the ether immediately.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he was kind of like begging the argument, and I know it seems like a double standard, but if I really don't like the way Nick Curie, I don't know. Well, that doesn't work because he's from Canberra. But like, say someone that's just so, it's never going to get to him, right? I think there's a little bit more, people are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to like,
Yeah.
and that sounds bad because it's like you can't just throw stones.
I think you still got to be diplomatic about,
Yeah.
you know, how you approach things.
But it is a little bit.
But that's
yeah.
not hurting his stock. No one's going like, oh, did you hear what Burrows said about Nick
Yeah.
Burrows?
Mm.
Like, he doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? So it's a bit different to being like, oh, your blog's down the street, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nick's coming for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to shut up.
We've actually got him on Zoom here.
Oh, bro, don't. No, let's not do that.
Well, speaking of Zoom, we might get Jamie on.
Sure.
I think he's standing by.
Yeah, take your
So-
time. I got some more questions that people have sent into our Q&A if you want to hear them.
Yeah,
But,
let's
let us know.
let's see if Jamie can hear us and jumps on with his cam, and we'll.
Man, some of these questions are wild. Thank you for anyone that sent them in. Thank you. I know this one was Ike.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't want to say all these. I don't know.
You know, I made Nick Kyrgios a
we're back
burrito
to-
bowl when I was in year 11
A burrito bowl?
at Zamberos.
Nice.
And he asked
hell
if
yeah.
there's sugar in the guac, and I was like, yes. And I made him new guac because he didn't want sugar.
You're a
Nice.
legend.
Yes.
That's so nice.
You made it sound like when you said it there, you made it sound like you didn't kick up the biggest fuss. You were like,
I think my brother used to play tennis with him back in the day.
so many people know. Of
That
him.
little bit of sugar you made a mark.
Yeah,
and
he
affected
remembers that.
the Oz Open doubles champion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
didn't have
played a
no
part, yeah.
no sugar spike.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
he
welcome.
kept his cool
You're welcome.
because of you. Oh, you. Oh, you, bro.
All right. Can I ask you one of the questions that was sent in to us, Nick?
Yeah, go for it. And Jamie, if you are listening, chuck your camera on and we'll come to you.
Still trying to hide, bro.
He's trying to hide his slides.
Quickly change his shoes. Nah, this guy.
I love
here-
him.
here
I love
he
him,
is.
Jamie.
He's on.
Ask this question and we'll then we'll
All
go
right.
to Jamie.
So the question is it a red flag or green flag if she watches the podcast? I don't know if you're in a relationship, but
I want to
Nah,
know who said
theoretically,
that.
so-
No, it's not a red flag.
not for you.
No, yeah, I'm
For
just
us
behind
it
the
is.
scenes. Yeah, I'm behind the scenes.
I think it's if I went on a date with a chick and she goes, "Oh, I listen to Mustard Flats," I'd be like, "Why? Why?"
My material.
100. She listens to Out of Pocket. I'm like, "Yeah, she's for the streets." What do you think?
I don't know. I don't really mind because at the end of the day, it is kind of up to you.
Yeah. exactly.
The person.
Look at this guy.
Hey, yo, show me your feet.
Yeah, show us
He's
your feet, brother.
glowing.
Nah, show us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All
That's
right.
what's up. That's what's up.
We gotta get into
So
the slides.
good.
We gotta get into the slides.
Welcome, our guest for this evening via Zoom, Jamie from Burrows. What's going on, man? Can you hear us all right? Can we hear you?
Yeah, the kids are coming through.
Yeah,
it's coming through.
Very nice.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining
Feel,
us, bro.
I feel real out of place. I'm gonna
Real out of
get
pocket.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
Bro, you
no,
look
yeah, good.
All right.
Getting that
How we doing?
podcast look.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to say before anything, publicly, we need to. I'd like to personally make a big shout out to Jamie, just for putting on for us. I've said this to him personally as well. But like our podcast, genuinely, and he disagrees, but it would not exist without him. So when I went to check out the studio, he was just doing anything he could to help us out, and he's just put on for us from the start, and it's just like ridiculous, like how much support he's given us. So just big
Shout
up, bro. Thank you
out.
so much for like everything you've done so far, man. Like really appreciate it.
no, cool.
And what you're
No, of
building
course.
is sick. Look, he's blushing. Oh, nah. Seriously though, but
I'm a fan. It's the
Nah.
least I could do.
appreciate it, bro. But yeah, like, and Nick, you know, Jamie's like one of those unsung heroes in Canberra that
Absolutely.
just doesn't want the appreciation for whatever reason. But yeah, got to give it to him anyway. But bro, I got to ask you, what the fuck are those, bro?
Hey, I'm gonna defend Jamie here. Those are amazing.
Rich
Nah.
backs me up on this.
Nah,
He
but
loves-
Rich was
he loves
critical
my scene
before
there.
you. All right.
I wasn't critical at all, man. I was like, yo, look at them speed holes, bro.
Alright, let's give context to this.
Yeah,
Let's
definitely.
give context.
Story time.
So Jamie, here we go. All right, so just take your time and what are these? But so whenever we go into the studio with Jamie, like he'd always be like he's always looking good. He's always looking like he's always got the style.
Fresh.
And then you just kind of slowly track downwards, and whatever he had on his feet were always just like criminal, bro. And then it got to the point where Warif and I spotted this photo of him doing a shoot. And I was like, nah, this has to stop, bro. This has to stop. Like, he can't be wearing this shit. And then Warif made this TikTok. Oh, yeah. You want to run it? Oh, no. I feel bad for this guy. After I just gave him props, run it.
No, it's drip. And then he's bought us some.
Yeah, so Warif made this TikTok and it was just like, what the hell? You know, one of those ones. And then we were at our last ep and we were just giving him more shit, you know, just playful banter. And we finished the ep and Rich went to open the door to leave and he like tripped over some shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And he brings in like a bunch of like fishnets. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? He opens up the bag and it's like, Jamie bought us like all a pair of these. I don't know, what do you call them? What even are they?
Slocs.
Slocs, yeah. Slides and Crocs. Yeah, that's the one. We've dubbed them the Slocs.
Oh, fake Crocs.
Hey, get this, but I was on a shoot yesterday with I was doing a press shoot for this girl band called Horizon. I don't know if you know them. They're like a philo girl band or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're real cool and trendy and shit. And I rocked up in them. And they're like, these are mad. Like everyone in LA wears these.
Yeah, everyone in LA. Oh shit! You've seen the state of LA at the moment, though.
The drip just hasn't made it to Canberra yet.
Yeah. I think he's just ahead of his time. But to your credit, Rich, like we did some housework, and Rich did not take them off. I reckon for at least a couple of days. Warif currently has them on at home. Yeah, they're like a cancer. Like, to be honest,
You can't explain. They choose you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
I'm worthy. You're not, Berrigan.
Exactly. One of Q&A questions was, who would win in a fight, Berricut or Warif? Jamie, what do you think? And you can give me your honest opinion. I'm not going to get card.
I would say
Yes,
based on physical attributes,
Yeah,
Warif.
Warif. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
But Warif is like the sweetest man on earth.
That's right, bro.
Hey, you want to know a
From
fun
what I-
fact? My wingspan is what? Same?
It's the same
Yeah,
as Warif.
same as Warif.
Rich has the same length arms as Warif.
Yeah. I'm
Makes
built
the-
That
different.
I
is
just feel like-
weird.
Barricket's holding some shit in. Like he's
Yeah, he needs to let
holds some shit up.
loose.
Yeah, he's constipated.
Yeah.
All right, that's a fair answer. I'm not going to answer it. We have sparred him numerous times, but I'm not going to kick him out while he's down, you know? So another question, and this is for you as well, Nick, is what's been the most rewarding part of hosting a podcast?
Just as I said earlier, like getting to sit down with probably the coolest people in Canberra for an hour and get to know them. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's up.
Like getting to meet people.
How did you manage to get this guy on your pod?
How did we tee that up? That was for the Canberra Short Film Fest last year.
Business don't sleep. No, I listened to that app. That was sick.
Yeah. So he had a vid in.
Yep.
And we've been chatting a while because we're both in the film space in Canberra. So I was very keen to get Burrows in and try and convince him to come.
What was the first?
Because like me, we both don't like
Being
being in front of the camera.
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. What was the first you heard of Burrows?
I would have been his music videos
Mm-hmm.
that I saw. Can't remember which ones. Shaka J's in the comments too. A lot of
Yeah,
his
shout out
early
Shaka.
vids, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Jamie, can I ask what's the most rewarding part of what you do?
That's a good question.
Giving out slides.
Not the
good
Teresa.
slide.
Giving the drip. Bringing the drip
He's
to
like about to hang up.
Canberra.
He's so close to hanging up.
James like the Canberra Oprah.
I don't know. I've actually never thought about it. I think when you. Oh fuck! Hold on. Give me a second. Let me
No,
think.
all
Hold
good.
on.
All good.
That's
No
all good.
stress.
I think like what we do, you're trying to create someone else's vision and like what they have in their head, and then
Yeah.
like people often have a very vivid idea of what they want, but can't
Express it.
can't communicate it or whatever.
Yeah.
Express it, yeah. So I think when you kind of hit that mark, it's like a very small mark you sort of have to hit, and I'm sure Nick can agree with this. Like, you do spend a lot of time in the back and forth with people's projects trying to get it right or whatever, but just when you get like you fucking nail it and you see it in their reaction like the
It
first
must
time
be
they watch
such a good feeling showing them the end product and
yeah,
getting
definitely.
that
But
reaction.
it goes the other way as well. Like,
Yeah,
when
for
you've
sure. Yeah.
when you've sunk like 40 hours into this project and you send it off and they're like, oh,
Not sure
really.
about
Like,
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
We were talking at the start of the pod. We were talking about like just two different styles. So how we try to post like weekly, and how Nick does like occasional eps, like whenever he just feels like talking to someone. And we were talking about burning out and whatnot. Brother,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like. I hope it never happens, but the way you work, like, is like ad nauseum. Like, I don't know how do you manage yourself, honestly? Like,
I actually burned out. I burned out today, like 3 hours ago. I went and
so it happens frequently.
had a little cry on the couch. Yeah, it's like super frequent.
Yeah.
It's I used to like before I was doing this, I was working done a whole bunch of different stuff and done like 10, 12-hour days back to back, 7 days a week for years, like different jobs. But I've never experienced anything as exhausting as doing this type of stuff. And I think that's a mixture of
Where do you
like
think that? Sorry, carry on.
I just think the level of mental strain that goes into it. Like
Yeah.
you're constantly having to be creative and think of
Yeah.
new things, and like I burn out weekly for sure.
See, like, that's crazy because I feel like I'm like almost burnt out. But what we're doing compared to you is so like, it's trivial. Like, I sit down and we talk to someone, about what they do. So creative wise, like, yeah, we have to think about certain topics sometimes. But like, I can't even understand where you're like, I guess there's levels to this shit. But what is the carrot at the end of the stick for you? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, is it all for something, or is it just this never-ending loop of burning out?
I definitely have a end goal, and I think this burning out process is just part of building it and sort of figuring out the future of what it is that I'm doing, and how to make it sustainable. Like it is sustainable, but it's just about implementing the right things, whether it be a team or whatever. But
I know you've got
wanna,
plans. Yeah.
I want to sort of just take this to the next level, more in like a kind of hit the more like the commercial space, like do a lot more creative commercial stuff. I still do the music videos and everything, of course, but just be able to do it on a bigger scale.
Do you remember sorry. Continue.
Oh, sorry. No, you go. You go.
I was gonna say, do you remember the first thing you did for like another client?
Oh, like my first
Yeah.
First paid role.
Yeah.
fucking horrible. I should put it up, but I'll probably get in trouble.
Right, can't be worse than what's on your feet, brother.
Stop with it.
All right.
I know where you live, bro.
Yeah, that's actually fun.
I'll unlock the door for you, Jamie.
Yeah, no, we'll let you in.
No.
Straight to
Well,
Berwick.
how bad was it?
Oh, it was shocking. So, long story short, I was helping out a friend who wanted to start rapping, and I was kind of like, I guess, managing him, like unofficially managing him.
Yeah.
And he hit me up one day, and I'd done media through school and always loved it, and I had a little YouTube channel with some friends. And he hit me up one day. He's like, I want to do a music video, and I was like, oh, like when? He's like, tonight. And I was like, oh fuck, who's gonna shoot it? And he's like, you are. And back then I knew fucking the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I rocked up with my girlfriend's camera, like she had a little DSLR. Luckily one of our friends that was there was like a tradie, but I said to him, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to put anyone out, so let's just make it super simple. Just get a couple of your mates somewhere like, somewhere in the city, and we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
I turn up, and no shit, this guy's brought like 30 of his fucking boys. We've got like Ducati, Range Rovers. We're all in all black.
You got your
No
DSLR.
fucking way.
Brother.
And like it was, I'll show you some other time.
Yeah.
But it's that fucking bad. But for some reason, it like popped off. Like
No way.
got a fair bit of traction. Like it actually sort of put him in the spotlight a fair bit. Like he was actually on his way to kind of like.
That's kind of crazy.
Did that-
stuff with it.
Did that spark something with you? Like,
Yeah, surely.
like you wanted to keep going? And
Because I hadn't touched media for ages, it like definitely reignited that the creative side. Like I loved putting this thing together, and because it was so horrible, I was like had to really rely on effects and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I had people reaching out, being like, "Oh, I love that music video. Could you shoot a video for our business?" And that's how the whole thing started.
Yeah, right. That got to me. something we've talked about on the pod is just like, so sometimes people like when they finally upgrade all their stuff and they've got to really like how you look, right? Your music videos are obviously very different to that now. Do you still look back at that and get like a sense of satisfaction out of how far you've come, or do you try to just block it all out?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit hard to judge. Like, I hate everything I do. Like, I can look at it objectively.
You are
and be
very,
like, that's awesome, whatever. Because I've cooked the dish. It's hard for me to enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it was probably about 2 years ago. It was the first time. Oh, maybe like a year ago. The first time I stopped. I hadn't touched weed or anything like that. Can I talk about drugs in here? Or?
I mean,
we'll have to cut you off, man.
That's all he came on for.
No, go for it.
I was doing heroin. I hadn't touched like drugs or anything for ages, and my mate gave me some weed brownies, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll just have I'll try a little bit.
Yeah.
I ate a brownie. As soon as it kicked in, I like felt the need to go back and just watch everything I've done.
Oh my god.
Being stoned.
No,
Like
That's
me with my
Like, I
TikToks,
watched-
bro.
Oh,
like, so
shit.
bad. Sorry.
I've
watched
done
it
that
from
with
a
photography
different
as well.
perspective. Like,
wait, really?
yeah.
You should go back and look at your photo. Old photos.
Yeah, keep going,
Yeah.
Jamie.
yeah, like it was like I was viewing it from a different perspective, like other
Yeah.
than mine, and I was like, fuck, you know what? Like, I am not fucking horrible at this, because you spend the whole time questioning yourself. Like, it's imposter syndrome is
Yeah.
real. And I always find myself like I was shooting a project for this like phone company a few weeks ago, and I was standing there. I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I think that about being on the podcast. I'm
Yeah, well,
like,
I was going to speak to it
damn.
as well. So I physically can't go and watch our old eps, even if it was only 2 weeks ago. And that's just like, when you create something, you're always going to be more judgmental of it, even if they weren't that bad. But looking back at our old ones, and this is probably a good segue. So we used to talk about when you make content, like we didn't say it like this, but we were kind of very like straightforward. Like when you make content, don't delete it and like show where you come from and stuff. And then I had to take it, dose my own medicine, because there was one episode that still is up on our page, and I'm not going to name which one it is, but I hate it. I reckon it's the worst podcast episode ever in history, quite possibly. It's just the worst, right? And I was like to Warif one day, I was like, I'm taking it down right now. I don't give a fuck if there's a hole in our timeline or whatever. He was like, no, you have to stick to what you said and leave it up. And I to this day, just the thought of this episode just haunts me, right? But even just production value wise, we had some good conversations, but just looking back at it, I'm just like, it just kills me, because obviously we turned a big corner right after Rich's ep. He jumped on board and was like, you need to just make some simple changes here, and it made a huge difference. And then obviously going to your studio made a big difference as well, and it all happened all at one time.
At the same time, yeah.
So
to your credit,
yeah.
To your credit though, like I've been watching since day one.
Yeah.
I'm very critical of especially when it comes from Canberra. And I loved the potty from day one. So
Appreciate it.
I think that your personalities definitely shine through.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, definitely. But obviously, like you would have experienced with your old work, you just look at it and you're just like, what were we thinking, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We really thought we ate, with a wooden ass table, a point and shoot camera that, it was just, it was
Yeah, the
rough.
lens fold into the camera.
Lens folded in. It was, look, I'm kind of proud of myself for some reason. We literally
You
had.
started. You did it.
And I wouldn't want to start a pod and it looked great straight away. I
Yeah,
honestly just
exactly.
wouldn't, and I'm not just saying that. But if our list of equipment was a table that just if you knocked it that hard, it would just collapse. There were a few times where it did collapse and we'd have to put it back up. I had a point and shoot camera. We had a ring light, one of those makeup ring lights from Kogan, and that was it. Oh, and then we had our little pod track. And
Thing is that you actually did it though. You
Yeah.
couldn't flick yourself around and make excuses of we can't start till we do this. We got to get this, but you jumped in, and I think it'll be awesome. Even a year from now, looking back and just being like,
For
fuck.
sure.
yeah,
I think the fact, we're already so ahead because of that. And it brings me back to, when everyone says on a night out, let's start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you said it and you did it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's right. I think. I mean, look, some people just like a high production value from the get, but the best way to start something is to just start it. It sounds so cliche.
Go and
but
do the
just
thing.
fucking
Yeah,
do it.
go
Just
and do
start
it.
it.
Whatever
Do
you're
it.
thinking about right now, go do it.
Yeah,
Like, go
yeah,
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How crazy is it though that like there's people out there that actually want to listen to you?
Yeah.
what I mean?
it's-
Like-
So
yeah,
insane.
It is very, very weird.
Even just like one person that's not in your friendship group or
Exactly.
family or whatever that
Yeah.
actually is interested in.
Yeah,
Mm,
and
that's-
we have people reach out to us, which still is so strange. And I always think it's like some scam or some shit. And they're like, "Hey, we listened to the pod and like, great and loved it." And actually, Rich, like when we did Rich's app, we had the most people reach out because Rich talked about a bunch of stuff that like, just most people don't like get exposed to. Like he talked about JDM and he talked about like his PC and all this stuff. And we had a few people reach out and like, "Oh, you guys do JDM, you guys do." I was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." Like, I have no idea.
I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
So I think that speaks to who you have on your pod is very important, and trying not to get sucked into that sort of like that 2-dimensional sort of like trying to get a range of different people on.
Well, yeah, I could have easily looked at my podcast and been like, oh, like 200 people watched it. Like,
Yeah.
that's not, that hasn't gone viral. That hasn't, taken off, whatever. But then
Yeah.
it's like, damn, 200 people
Exactly.
have opened that link
It's about engagement. That's
and
right.
watched it. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, do we want to let Jamie go?
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro. I just wanted to say a big thank you to you, like, publicly.
You know,
And
I appreciate it.
yeah, for real. And
Keep doing that
we
thing.
want to have you on the pod, but last thing on Jamie is he's a hard man to get on a mic, but he always says once he's on that mic, he doesn't. He God takes the wheel. That's what he says. He doesn't know what's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Our interactions, like before you record and after, is fucking
Mad difference.
like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll get on there and I will have that many people fucking upset with me.
Yeah, so Jamie reckons if he does get in our pod, he said it'll be the shortest ep ever because I'll have to cut everything. He reckons it'll be the intro and then it'll just cut.
I just hate.
I'll still
everyone
watch
that
it.
just talks-
Yeah. Nah, it's long awaited, so we're not going to push you to do it, but we'll rehearse it a few times.
You know I'll be there.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
do rehearsals? Can we?
We can do rehearsals, yeah. I might film it just in case, but
a little teleprompter.
yeah. We'll film it on a security camera when you're not even. Nah, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for calling in.
All right,
brother.
take care, brother.
Bye. Wait.
Nick,
Oh yeah. Shit.
The Lucha.
Whoa.
How's she running?
yeah, she's good. I'm so sorry. I borrowed this from Nick like 3 months ago or something.
Yeah.
And I promised that.
It's getting more use with you, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's coming back.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for jumping on, taking some time. Have you got anything in the short film fest this year?
Nah, I totally forgot it was on. I was talking to Andy the other day and they've got something on this Friday.
Yeah.
I promised myself the next time there was one on, I wanted to make something just for it.
Yeah. Mad.
Like a personal project, but yeah, I just slept on it.
Nah, that's cool, man.
Mad boring.
Keep it up, and yeah, we'll chat soon.
This one's decent.
All right.
Peace out.
Catch ya.
See you, mate. All right.
All right, let's just reset this.
Sure.
All right, so what's the
Gonna do some Q&As.
what else
Yeah,
have we got?
I've got some more questions here. There's one that I feel like I need to definitely answer. It might exclude a few people,
Everyone.
but it's just such a thoughtful question. I think it needs to be answered. It says, "How difficult is it navigating media and social media space as a black person in a country that's majority white and doesn't really understand your vibe?" Question mark. So I'll answer that. Firstly, understand your vibe. I don't think people don't understand my vibe or our vibe. I just think that everyone has a different sort of
Vibe.
vibe, I guess, just to put it really broadly, but outlook on the world. So I don't think it's to do with race or color. Yes, our media is dominated by Caucasian people, but I don't think that's a vibe. I think that's just different upbringings. I don't think it really matters the color of your skin. I was raised by white people. I'm adopted, so I think my outlook will be somewhat different to someone who was raised by African parents, and I'm sure you guys have had completely different upbringings as well. So, more to the question, I don't think it's been difficult in the sense that it's more difficult because of the color of my skin. in terms of the podcast. I think life has been different because of the way I was raised and the color of my skin. But as it pertains to the podcast, I don't think it's been any different. And if anything, it's probably been an advantage because people that are either black or are curious about maybe my life or my outlook or Warif's outlook or anyone to do with the podcast might tune in because we have that distinction and because we are coming from a different angle in society.
Yeah, I think you said that really well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it was a very deep question, but I think it's a good one to answer.
And it's good that that's changing now more and more.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think podcasting is just such a strange medium. I think it's just so available for people. It has no links to mainstream media.
But I think you and Murph have done a really good job of, you know, touching on your own experiences and bringing that to media, which is very whitewashed.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Definitely. So yeah, we're just so lucky to have that freedom in Australia, honestly.
Yeah.
Just looking at it broadly. Like we can just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can say pretty much whatever we want. And people are free to weigh in like that, especially like what we're doing right now. People can literally weigh in live. So it's I think it's something that we take for granted definitely in this country. So it's very cool. And not to be reckless with that either, which is very important. What is the worst trouble you got into as a kid? Nick, you can go first.
I'll let you guys go
I got
first. I don't have anything on the top of my
I was
head.
going to ask Jamie, but I was like, he might
Yeah.
the screen might just go blank.
Trouble.
Worst trouble I got into?
Mine was just mad party.
Mad party, house party?
Yeah, house party. It was in year 10. And I don't know, it started like year 10's such a funny age because you're trying to, you know, make new friends and go up the ladder and all that kind of stuff. And so I sort of, you know, I had a free house and it started with just, you know, just talking about the idea and then you invite your friends and then they say, can we bring... Anyway, ended up being like probably, look, not that many people. It was probably like 80, 100 people. But the people that went...
Hold
Not
on a
that
second,
many.
Abby.
Bruv, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Have
not
you
that
seen 80 people in a house?
Okay, but
'Cause I
my
haven't.
backyard is really, really big, to be fair.
That's so many people.
But it was
Carry
bad.
on.
And like, so year 10, so everyone's underage and wanting to go to a house party to, you know, hook up and drink and like
Yeah,
away from the
Jesus.
parents, like blah, blah, blah. So everyone was ready to get reckless.
Yep.
Not to mention, half of them weren't even like my good friends. So
No, of
no one
course.
has
I
respect
don't think I
for
know
the house.
80 people. Yeah.
So then, yeah, it got, the police showed up.
Mhm. Which suburb is this, if you don't mind? I'm just trying to figure out the response times.
MacArthur,
Where's that?
like next to Fadden.
Oh, pretty quick then.
Yeah.
If that happened in Canberra, you're good for another few hours.
Yeah, so yeah, police showed up, but they didn't even care. They honestly, they were just like, it was just noise complaint. And then, but because everyone was underage, everyone scattered.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone scattered around the suburb. And then police were patrolling the suburb. But then people were smashing neighbors' windows, denting cars. Someone slept in my parents' car.
Yeah.
Broke the trampoline.
Jeez.
Someone got my whole cutlery like thing and just like
my
swished it upside
God.
down.
Oh,
Went
Project
everywhere.
X.
Someone got a bloody maple syrup out
Project
of the
X
cupboard.
Canberra, yeah.
Someone got maple syrup from the cupboard and just started going like around the house
Yeah.
with fucking maple. So everyone's like, "What the fuck is it sticky everywhere?"
That's a good. So one thing we found very good engagement with Canberra was with Nick. If you're not familiar, have you heard of Project X Canberra?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Well, not so much the Canberra one. I've heard of the.
Oh, okay. So there's a Canberra one, right? And we heard
When
rumblings
is
of
that?
it.
Is that has it
I
coming
don't know.
up?
Never checked in.
Surely it's
We were meant to
coming up.
check in with it. So basically, it was this kid. We don't know who he is, and he responded to our TikTok we made about it.
Corey Worthington.
Wait, what?
You not heard of Corey Worthington?
No.
Too young for
Oh,
that.
No.
He's like the Australian.
He's the one with the
yeah,
sunnies.
with the sunnies, aren't he?
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
inspired.
He's
yeah.
hilarious. Sorry, I thought you knew the kid. I was like, what the hell? So we talked about it on our pod, and it got really good engagement from Canberra. Basically, this kid, where is he? I think he's in Belco somewhere.
Belco, I think.
And he's just looking to have this massive party or something, and it's just taken off on TikTok basically, and hopefully from a legal standpoint he doesn't do this because it'll be like legal suicide for him. But yeah, it's just interesting how TikTok's just like this new thing. You can just
Yeah.
put something out and
I've seen a Project X for each city in
yeah.
Australia.
yeah.
So we need to get a good Project X comment, and you need to mispronounce something within it.
Project X. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so safe to say the house was a fucking
Totaled?
just ruined. And my parents would always come home like in the afternoon of like whatever day it was.
Mhm.
So next day, everyone's like, obviously everyone's like slept there because they can't go home to their parents. So it's still like 40 people in my house.
Jesus.
And everyone's like, dude, aren't you going to fucking clean up? Like, this place is a mess. Like, we're stressed for you that your parents are going to come home. I was like, dude, guys, it's chill. Like, it's fine. Anyway, there's probably like 5 or 10 people left at this point, and I hear my parents come down the driveway, and I can't even stress how bad the house looks.
No way.
So mum comes in, and then she just looks at it. She's like, I'm leaving. Like,
Really?
I can't be here. Like, she was boiling up.
Yeah.
She was boiling
So your
up.
parents are gone again. Another party.
Round 2.
Yeah. Jesus.
Which, yeah, I did have multiple parties after that. That was probably like number 1 biggest trouble, but then number 2 was when I had probably only like 5 people over and someone vomited in my parents' bed. And they found it. And
That's
then
a light compared to the first one.
I didn't go
reckon.
home for 2 weeks after that.
Nice.
Because I was like, nah, this is fucking scary.
Good Lord.
So, yeah, that's the worst.
Abby, you got some shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was
learning.
pretty
Yeah.
Oh, there was also a hashtag that started after the first party. Hashtag save the Jack. Because
Abby's got her own hashtag. Wait,
Yeah.
everyone spam hashtag save the Jack.
we're good now.
What about you, Rich? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you'd have some crazy shit for some reason. Yeah, he's like, can I talk about it? Don't risk it, bro.
No, okay. So there's a couple comes to mind. My grandmother had this set of jade horses
Oh, no.
worth money. I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was like, oh, horses. Snapped the leg, and oh, thank God.
And then your leg snapped.
I got beat, but at least like I was the first grandson, so
Yeah.
she went easy on me.
Yeah.
You know. And
That's kind of cool.
there may or may not be a time where I was playing with fire, and then outside next to the recycling bin, and it caught on fire, and our neighbors came knocking on the door. I was like, "Hey, mate, you guys having a barbecue?" I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, "Oh, there's smoke coming up from the back." I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, for sure.
We went out back. Both the recycling and the garbage bin were on fire. It was like lit, like it was melted halfway
was lit.
down, and then my mom grabbed the hose, put the fire out, and it started hosing me because she was so pissed off. And I was just running around the backyard, like, "Oh, please, I'm sorry." And the thing was, she had guests coming within 15 minutes. So while she was hosing me down, she was looking at the time. I was like, "Fuck,
Oh my
get back to
days.
cooking." So she ran back in, started cooking, and when the guests came, she had to act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Got a
let
sad
off
face.
pretty good then.
Yeah, got away with it.
Oh my.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell.
Favorite guest?
And stop. What about you? You ain't getting away with that.
Right, bro. It's not-
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
yeah, I like
the segue.
Yeah, I was trying to see.
Yeah.
Where's trouble?
Come on.
I
you
really
have to
haven't
be-
been in that much trouble.
When they've been, you know.
So, Rich knows my brother. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So it's safe to say my brother's he's had his fair share of trouble. So I was going straight after that. And it's like he was like a windbreaker for me.
Yeah.
And like everything he did, because we're like 4 years apart. So it's like a perfect amount of time for me to like assess what he's done and apply it to my own life. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but he cleared a lot of major obstacles for me to learn from. And genuinely, I haven't been in that much. Like I've done some really dumb shit, but nothing like that exciting. Like
Yeah.
mainly just like no brainer, like logic.
Yeah, I was mad lucky because I have 2 older brothers.
Yeah. Definitely helps.
And being the youngest girl as well, they're definitely
yeah.
I shouldn't have gotten away with everything that I.
Oh, you're the
have.
only girl?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you get your own like obstacles you
Yeah.
get across. Yeah. Can I move on now?
Yes.
You
Favorite guest / episode? I think that's what it said.
I'm trying to think my favorite episode.
Favorite guest / episode and favorite moment. I've got,
Talking with Jamie tonight was probably my top.
talk about heroin with Jamie.
Um,
No, genuinely, do you have a standout that you just like that?
Nah, not I. It's like not really. you almost can't say either
Yeah,
because
that's true.
it's
I'm
like
happy to say.
picking your favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to say just because it was a turning point for us, and it was the most kickback, laid back, out of pocket app, and it was with Rich in our living room, and I don't think you can recreate it because it was such a weird. We were kind of pissy. It was freezing cold, which just added to it. I was just kind of like, I don't know, everything about it was just so off that it was just on. Like I was like, this is gonna be terrible, and then when I imported it to my lifestyle, I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
That's good. That's so good.
Because like I just really didn't care.
No,
Yeah.
And, just with my mates having a laugh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have two, but I've forgotten the girl's name. But one of the first girls you had it on.
is it Dana?
Yeah, it was.
Everyone loved Dana.
I loved her.
So-
And then probably Henny.
Hanny was.
I
Hanny
really
was
liked
fucking
Henny's
good.
episode.
Hanny was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Dana. So Dana was our first guest / unofficial guest. So we just didn't know like who to have
How
on.
to go? Yeah.
And we were like, we could have done another just boys app, and I was like, no, we need to start getting used to having guests. And the guys were like, I was like, do you know a girl called Dana? And they're like, oh yeah,
Was this episode 3?
3, correct.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna have her on. I've met her a few times. I didn't even know her that well. I was like, let's just get Dana on, right? And Dana's just the coolest person.
I
her,
really like.
like
her
obviously
episode,
she's got a
yeah.
lot going on. She's studying. She works very hard, but I'd say her main trade is just being a really cool person. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Trust me. Yeah, here it is. Oh no. Oh shit. In the
I
bomb
love
shelter.
Her. Like I just
In the bomb shelter.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the
So, yeah, this is a-
the
this is-
wood
The wood,
decor.
it's harsh, isn't it? So it's
I
a
liked it.
yeah. Well, if you were in it, it's nice.
Even
It's
though-
nice viewing from the comfort of here. So it was an office space that my dad was building.
Look at your
And it was
hair.
half built. Yeah, I know, the whole mullet. And it was half built, so it's just like not even done. The acoustics are horrid. Like it was
Yeah.
like tinny. It was terrible, right? So anyway,
But
yeah.
for me to look back and be like, yeah, that was one of my favorite.
It was a great
episodes,
combo,
Like
yeah.
you don't need much. You know?
we
You
need to
don't
do the Dana comeback. The
Yeah.
two most requested people are Dana and Rich to have back on. But I'm
Nice.
honestly worried to get either back on because it's like it just seems like we're trying to recreate it.
Mm.
So I'm really worried. Like probably not, but I just don't want it to. We're not trying to recreate the bomb shelter. But yeah, and there were two just like posters from my room that I just grabbed. I was like, well, I need to put something on these walls. Yeah, and there's literally a PowerPoint behind her head.
That's so
yeah.
funny.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I liked her.
Oh yeah, you can't say, can you?
Rich, do you have any?
Yeah, Rich.
Oh, I was waiting for Berka to ask me, but thank you, Abby.
Yeah.
I have to say Honey's as well.
Yeah,
It was
I really like.
hilarious. I quite enjoyed that app.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like coffee as well, so it was
Yeah.
kind of hit the
It was,
spot. for
yeah,
me.
it was actually really fascinating as well. Heaps
Mm-hmm.
of fun facts I didn't know. But yeah, he definitely brought it.
The weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Eaten.
Mm.
Pork floss.
That's pretty normal
Yeah, it
for
is.
me. I don't know. A lot of things I eat, you think it's weird. Pork floss,
is
1,000-year
that?
egg.
What's the first
Yeah,
one?
you got it. Have you heard of pork floss?
No.
Okay, so it's like, just
It's-
imagine like jerky,
Yeah,
but it's like floss, like it like,
like little
tear
needles.
it down to like strands of the fiber,
Yum.
like the meat fiber.
That sounds
And it's like
yummy.
Yeah, that
salted?
sounds good.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
have it with rice, or like you have it. You know, they still have like bread topping your pork floss with mayo on bread.
Yum.
It's a running
Delicious.
joke in our house though. We all just say pork floss this, pork floss, because it's like dehydrated pork.
Yeah, they say
Yeah.
it looks
Floss.
like Garfield.
It's no, when you hold it and when the consistency is very strange.
It's
It feels
very
like,
light.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I can think of is kangaroo.
Oh yeah, I've never had it.
Because
alright.
my dad, works with kangaroos, and so
Yeah,
he
right.
brings them.
Works with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, works with them.
Alright, you
He
need
does some great stuff, I swear.
I'm a real wuss with that sort of stuff.
somewhere.
So I don't, and I'm just drawing a blank here too. But yeah, I've eaten kangaroo, crocodile,
Damn,
that
that's
sort
pretty
of
cool.
like. But it's all still kind of like
Normal.
not crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyone done snails?
Oh, I've done snails. Yeah,
Snails?
they were gross. Yeah, I wouldn't do them again.
You want to know something crazy? My dad went on a work trip to China, and apparently the locals eat monkey brain.
What?
Good fun.
Yes. So how they serve it is quite graphic, quite disgusting.
Disclaimer.
Yep. So they cut the monkey's head off,
and then they open the skull to access the brain, and you eat it raw. So it's served. In
So
the
it's like
monkey's
the
head.
monkey head is the bowl.
Yeah,
Yuck.
yeah. I don't know
Some Liver
what
King
was wrong
shit.
with them.
Fuck.
Built. Yeah, I
That's
was like,
crazy.
"Bleh."
I do know people that eat brains and livers and all that stuff. I don't know what animal though, but they eat it like often, like every day.
Yeah.
Liver I eat quite often, like pork liver,
It's really good
especially
for
in
you.
Taiwan. Yeah,
Very good for you.
high in iron.
Yeah, right. Best favorite place to eat out in Canberra, Nick?
Grease monkeys.
Really?
Yeah.
Safe bet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there.
That,
too.
as like a fast sort of option.
Yeah.
And then probably like a Kiba or something
Oh,
for a bit more fancy.
bougie, huh?
Yeah,
Alright.
something like that.
Never been.
My mom's house.
Nice.
Yeah, Rich comes back from his mum's just stocked.
Yeah.
Stocked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just hard to go anywhere else. That's
Shout
like
out Lil Theo's Canberra. If you're
Oh,
ever in Canberra,
Theo's.
it's so good.
Shit, I have 4 now.
oh Soul Cartel.
Soul Cartel, yeah.
That's just
yeah, we
fat.
need to do that.
If
My
you-
4. Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, if you're like just hungover as fuck and you want to like kill yourself with grace,
Mm-hmm.
Soul Cartel just ruin your life. It's a good time.
My 4 would be Broadburger
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
for sure. Just a fun vibe as well, especially like when with Capital Brewing, the one in Fishwick. And then Baby Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot what the 4th one was, but also Kidder as well, of course.
Get up. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there for a while. I really want to go back. Their satay, every time the curry of the week is the satay one. Gotta go.
It's that one we always get. You always ask. The bowl.
Bowl. What bowl?
The bowl.
Comes out of the van. North side.
Oh, Yahweh.
Yeah, wait. How did I forget that?
Yeah,
Have you had
Yahweh's
Yahweh?
like cheap,
No.
Banger.
cheap, like katsu curry. It's fantastic.
Oh, best pizza? Department of Pizza in Campbell.
Never
So good. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, I was eating pizza every single night in Italy.
Really?
Department of Pizza was still better.
Damn.
So good.
Alright.
It was like a euphoric moment.
Department of Pizza. Alright.
Yeah,
Let's
so
check
good.
it out. For sure.
Oh, should we wrap it up for the evening?
Yeah.
We're going a while tonight, so it's been awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been lots of chatter in the chat.
Great.
Thank you all for tuning in and playing your part, and thanks to Jamie too for calling in.
Shout out Jamie.
Shout out. Can I ask you one more thing just about your pod?
yeah,
Just so we can end on a pod note here.
yeah.
I know you're just taking it app by app and it's, just a bit of fun for you, but what ultimately is, because in my opinion, Hannah Mart, Mustard Flats is probably the benchmark for Canberra pods, I would say. Just my opinion. But what is the goal for it for you? Like, are you happy just coasting, just doing apps whenever you want? But
Yeah,
What is it?
I am in one sense, but I do think it has a potential to be something bigger, and I think that something is not just a pod. So I want to. We do a lot of other content around Canberra too. So we want to do more docos, more stuff that's not being covered in all those other media places I talked about before. Grow it as a bit of a platform that can host other podcasts. So we're working on other shows with other people. So who knows what it could be, but definitely bigger than what it is now.
Well,
Nice.
keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really appreciate you putting on for smaller platforms as well. It's a huge
Thank you,
help.
man. No, it's been really fun and been really cool.
And I
So
just want to say, if anyone's thinking of starting anything to do with videography, podcasting, whatever it is, just start.
Just-
exactly.
yeah,
Just-
go
yeah.
for it, honestly. Get your
honestly.
camera out and just
just
walk
get
around
that
with it.
first step
see.
out,
Yeah.
and then you get the ball rolling.
And I'm not trying to inundate Jamie, but if you have the means and you really want to get something done in terms of a space, a creative space, a video, anything like that, and you're willing to invest, Jamie is the guy to get it done.
Burrows Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out the Burrow, and he's got things coming as well. So it's really as easy as just contacting him. I just shot him a message and next minute.
Burrows.Canberra, isn't it? Or Burrows.CBR.
Yeah, he's got a few pages.
Yeah, I
but
think so.
Burrows Canberra or something. So yeah, thank you so much.
Total
man.
legend. And you guys too, everyone go hit up the Outer Pocket pod, check it out. The follows mean a lot because it is a tough grind
Yep.
doing this stuff, and it does make a difference when you tune in and watch. So go check them out. I should throw it to you too. Where is your pod going?
Oh, shit. That's a good
What's
question.
the
I think-
goal or what's the next step?
So the word we always use is passion project,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Abby always just tells me, if you're not having fun anymore, it's, you just
Yeah.
got to be having fun. So it's very important to remember.
I think just make it a passion project, but in that sense, we're just learning each time we do something. So as long as we're just open to making it better, that's all, and then just see where that actually goes.
I think
I
it's-
just hang out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly.
Yeah. I think it's different for all of us. Personally,
Yeah.
I'll answer it for myself. I want to be
Yeah,
able to
you're-
sit in front of people that I'm really inspired by and have just dialogue with them.
Mm.
I see it as an opportunity to sit down with people that I otherwise wouldn't be able to, and have like a genuine conversation, and just have a good time and be able to put it out as content. I just enjoy creating things and putting it out.
I think it'd be pretty cool to get to the point where people outside of Canberra can be like, yep, Canberra, that's where the Out of Pocket podcast comes from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be able to ID with Canberra like that.
for sure.
Yeah, well, I think you're well on the way,
Thank you.
and that's the first crossover. I'm sure there'll be more.
Fuck yeah, sick.
That was really fun. So thank you again.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for having us.
No
Appreciate it.
problem.
Shout out the flats.
Yeah. All right. Catch us all.
Peace out.
Bye.